from Switzerland, and I'm a badminton professional sportsman, and I'm training in the national center, where I live also during the week. That's in Bern. I grew up on a farm. We didn't farm ourselves, but we lived with a few families on it. And I grew up in the wild, so to speak, being every day outside. So I had school, came home, had some dinner or lunch, and whenever I had free time, I was outside playing on the ground in the forest, and it was really funny and good. But at some point, when I grew up, and my friends or the neighborhood that we all grew up, we got stronger and a bit more adventurous. So it got a bit also more dangerous. So my parents, they suggested that we search for sports, and by accident, I came up with badminton. It was an ongoing decision, so to speak. It was not one moment where I said, "Oh, I really want to do this." It was more a development, because when I started with badminton, it was just for fun. It still is a lot of fun, but I just got many chances that opened up for me, and step by step, in the end, it was like a logic decision that I say, okay, I've had so many opportunities. Let's go and try it also as a pro when I finish school. They were always a part of my decisions. So for them, it was nothing new. It was almost a decision that we made together. So they were informed and supported me, of course, a lot, as they did before. Also, when I didn't do it professional as an elite player. The friends in school, it was a bit mixed. Like a few people, they said, "Wow, that's really cool," but there was also quite many people who didn't understand somehow, or who were a bit saying, "Oh, are you crazy? Why are you doing this? Or how is this going to work? Can you live with that?" So I had to justify a lot in the beginning. But of course, like everyone from my surroundings, also the sport, the coaches and so on, they supported my way, and that's nice. Everything. I mean, I think the family is the backbone is my backbone. So if things are not going well, they hear for you. If things go well, they cheer with you. So they support you in every situation. That's like the emotional part, but also the decision makings. I think it's really important to not rely on your own wishes only, because then you might get or you're more led by ideals that are maybe not existing. So the parents, they often, especially the parents, but also my siblings, they helped me a lot to find the right, or to make the right decisions, to be a mirror and not decide for myself. Of course, it was always me who picked the decisions, but they were here for good talkings and leading. Where I grew up in school, that was in another county in Switzerland. It was in Basel-Land, so-called, and they have a sports support. They have a sports support system where national athletes. I was in under 13. I was already in the national squad. You can get more free time for trainings. So you can, for example, ditch the music classes, but go for the practices. So that started as a really young player. But then eventually, when I was 15, I went to the sports school. So the high school, so to speak, I did, which is made for sportsmen. So you have more time for training. It lasts 1 year longer than the normal school, but you have more time for your trainings. Well, I don't think that you lose the social life when you're doing sports. I think it just changes. Like it is, you will find your friends in the sports, you will find your friends in badminton, you will maybe find your friends in foreign countries where you're on tournaments and so on. So this is just different than you stick just to your neighbor maybe, or the ones that you learn in school. So I don't really think it's a social life that was gone. But I have to say, with the sports, or with the way that I went, I invested a lot. I invested a lot of time. So my days were really, really busy anyway. So I was actually glad when I had a free time to spend the time for myself or with the family, and not really go for extra exertions, which would mean that. I cannot really say, because I think in my career there were many things that went really smooth regarding the the setup of my career. So step by step I could increase my professionalism. So I think if I say now, I think that it's of course restrictions in general. Like you cannot say, like if the family is going on holidays in summer, you cannot say, yeah, I'm going with you. So in the junior times that was always normal, but in the elite, for example, also in elderly, like under 19, for you cannot just say, yeah, I'm coming, or on this weekend, yeah, I'm free, because you plan according to your sports plan. So you're a lot on, like in foreign countries as well, for tournaments. And I think being abroad from the family, this is, I would say, the biggest restriction. I have different idols. From badminton, it would be Taufik Hidayat. He was Olympic champion 2004. He's from Indonesia. So I really like his playing style. But then, of course, Roger Federer is a really nice idol regarding his success he had and his image, that everyone likes him. That's nice. But then I have another sportsman that I admire. That's Dirk Nowitzki from Germany. He's a basketball player. I think one of the first from Europe who made it to a really big player in the USA. And I've seen a documentary of him, and I like his story. I know that my sport is of course fun, and it's I like it. I do it because I like it, but it's also my job. It's my duty. I know that people, they support me, like the federation or the military or the county, and also sponsors. They support me for that I can go this way and earn success. So it's like just a duty, and it's for me normal that I give all my efforts to also be successful. So that is enough motivation for me already. Then of course you strive for the really big successes. That's like ongoing. I think that's very special for badminton, that we are individual sports, but we train together in a team, because we need each other to increase the intensity. To have two people playing against one, or three persons against one person. So I think this is good to also increase the level, because I think this is what makes the other countries to really good badminton nations, if they have a lot of concurrence and they can push each other. Well, like really, really giving up, I don't. I mean, I don't have that, or I don't have that often. I think I sometimes have it if you have a really bad if you play really bad matches, or if you have a really bad result, then you feel really down. But usually it took for me only a few days to get back, and it doesn't happen that often. And also it goes a bit along with my approach, that I think like giving up is not an option. Also because so many people support me, and they don't support me to give up. So it's deep in my mind that I'm working to be successful. It depends on the sports, probably, because some sports, they are really specific in one thing, and you need to master this really, really good. And then there are some sports where it's a mixture of many different aspects. So I think the great athletes are most likely those who can fit together all abilities that he has as a person, from a physical aspect, from maybe talent-wise. Yeah, the one who can fit everything together and bring it on court in badminton, or in in the competition. I really like badminton because it's always a new situation, and it's action reaction, and it's never the same like rally in badminton like the one you had before. So it's really entertaining also, and you can really explore everything. So that's like the playing. That sports is a playing sport. This makes it fun and also entertains you when doing trainings. I hate it when I understand how it should be, when my mind says, yeah, this is how it should be, and it's not working, and you want to change and it's not working, but you actually know what should be better. So this is a tricky situation. Yeah, I'm working with a sports psychologist, and we also had from the federation. We are doing some workshops also in the group about the mental aspect and also for the training and so on. So for me, this is a like ongoing process where you implement things into practice and also take out and focus on maybe only on the mental side. It's just a lot of planning. You have to be flexible, especially now during Corona. You because we had a different training schedule every day, so you cannot really plan. So that was quite tricky. Usually, it's just you have to. That's how I'm doing. I'm fixing slots, so I know there I'm doing this work, there I'm doing this work. But then, of course, sometimes you have to be really fast. Like if the draw comes out of a tournament and you have to book your flight, or you've heard from someone, yeah, the flights, they already really expensive, and actually you want to book in 1 week, but then you have to do it in the evening. So you have to be really flexible to work and just spend the time wisely. That's how I'm trying to manage. I'm trained with several coaches, also in badminton, and or mainly in badminton. I had several coaches, but from the physical part, I'm training with my same physical coach for more than 10 years now. Like this is just some coherent aspect that I have in my career. Yes, I think I yeah, we have a good relation. It's a bit, or sometimes it's you have to talk a lot to understand like what you mean, or like how to implement it. And as I said before, sometimes I understand it in my mind, but I cannot adapt on court. So for me, the dialogue between the coaches is really important. But for now, we have a good relation, and they join us a lot on the trips that we play on tournaments. So this is for me really important, and there I can learn a lot when they coach me also on court. I think it's the first person that is your first contact person in sports. Like if you have an issue, if you feel lost, or if you want to make a planning, or if you want to talk about the goal setting, I think the coach is the first contact person of an athlete. It's difficult to say because we actually had a few coaches, and there were changes that we had. But I cannot really say. Actually, I don't have arguments with my coaches. Maybe I have dialogues or talks, but it's never. I mean, it's not a conflict or anything. So mostly, it's maybe about where I think I should approach it differently, and the coach maybe says, "Hey, no, you're wrong," or "I don't see it like this." And this, of course, is then a tricky situation, because on one hand, you're responsible for yourself because you're an individual athlete. But on the other hand, the coach, he also has a lot of experience, and that's why he's here for you. So I think there's not one point or where there was a big discussion, but it's just like an ongoing process where you have to find a line between really between trusting your coach and just believing and doing without thinking, oh, how is it? And on the other hand, to know what you need and how you want to proceed in your training. I would expect me to be a bit more aggressive on court. As a junior, my strength was my physical abilities and my will to beat my opponents. So it wasn't really like the badminton part that made me great or that made me good. So because I did, yeah, let's say my skills, my technical abilities, I wouldn't call myself really gifted, or I wouldn't call myself gifted regarding the technical aspects of badminton. So I think like the best success was in junior times when I won the last junior title in singles, doubles, and mixed, and also I had won the previous years before in 2 disciplines. So finishing the junior career with this was nice, and it gave me a bit, also the motivation to go the step in the elite year. Well, I had so many great moments that, like experiences, let's say, that I cannot name one thing, because in the last few years I could experience. I was in, for example, in Malaysia. I could train with one of the best coaches from Asia. I could live with his family, and I was in Denmark. I could play in the Danish league. We even won the Danish league. Then I was in the national. In the Swiss National League, I could win with the team. Then, of course, the juniors time where I was really successful. So I had so many experiences that I would call the best thing. Yeah, was the journey itself so far. I would say I had some results or performances in the national championships that I didn't perform as I wanted, and then I had one match where I lost really bad against an Indian player. But I actually thought it was a good match, but I just was so much off, like how to say, off the grid, or I wasn't really. Yeah, it was a terrible match, and that was a bad moment. The last 2 years actually, I tried to qualify for the Olympics in Tokyo, but that didn't really work out. So right now, the qualification period just finished. So I will play a few tournaments now, and then have some holidays, and then I will think of my next big goals. But I will for sure continue for a few years with the professional sports. But what goals exactly I will set is not clear yet. I don't know yet. Well, actually, I know that I could do many things, because I would like to do so many things, and I would also see myself in different jobs and positions. But how the situation then will be, I cannot say now. But that's why I'm investing in my sports career to finish my career as successful as possible, and also to invest now in the academic education, of course, so that when the point comes or the time comes, I will have hopefully enough options. Myself. Well, like the physical warm up, for example, and the match game warm up is mostly the same. I have a routine that I follow, but it's not very strict. Like, I'm not listening every time to the same music, or this is not I don't want to stick too much on a ritual, because it would make me also a bit dependent on it. So I don't have a specific rule. I don't watch series, so I don't have, or I don't spend time on that. But movies, of course, I've seen a few. I like, or how is it called? Interstellar. I like, from Christopher Nolan. I don't have a specific song, but my favorite band, music band, is Queen. The SBB train app to see how to get from point A to point B. Both. We had a dog and now we have cats, so I love both. Hot. I think, for example, it's difficult to say because I haven't experienced those sports. Because I think if I judge now, um, it's not true. But if what I would say the sports that are boring or that are not really fun are the ones that finish in let's say 5 seconds or after one jump or after one throw. Uh, I wouldn't like that. I would like to make people healthy and just. I think I would be a dog who is really interested in new routes and new smells and new things. I want to stick with what my parents gave to me. I would like to have a family and to yeah, have children and learn them and teach them what I've learned during life. What I suggest to young players is that they um, have fun when they do the sports, that they really uh, play it and enjoy it, that they can practice and be a sportsman because it's a privilege. Because if you can travel the world, you can play tournaments abroad, you can play in league matches, you can be an idol for other players. And I think that are nice assets that you can work for. But I would also advise that you take it seriously and you take it professional and not only work hard but only also work smart because there are hundreds or thousands of other players who are doing the same. And if you want to be successful, you need to step out and yeah, really do something good.